Today, ComixFM unleashes the ultimate clash of legends, JLA Vs Avengers, the full multiversal saga in all its glory.
Penned by the master storyteller Kurt Busiek and illustrated by the iconic George Perez, this once-in-a-generation crossover brings together the world's greatest superheroes and Earth's mightiest heroes for the showdown fans dreamed of but never thought they'd see. When cosmic titans rip apart the fabric of existence, the Justice League and the Avengers are hurled into each other's worlds, and the fate of not one, but two entire realities hangs by a thread. Alliances will form, legends will collide, universes will tremble, so smash that subscribe button, heroes, and prepare to witness the greatest superhero battle in comic book history.
Act 1. A journey into mystery.
On Paul Marcus, a Marvel Universe world accustomed to war and violence, celebration briefly replaced combat as its ruler Archon anticipated ascension to the throne. However, Archon's quiet morning with Lady Thundra was interrupted by chaos outside. A massive, ominous force appeared in the skies, its fierce, demanding gaze overwhelming the inhabitants' minds. As Paul Marcus panicked, the force questioned their thoughts, demanding the ultimate truth, the secret of the universe. When no satisfactory answer emerged, Paul Marcus was obliterated, leaving nothing but cosmic debris. Elsewhere, on Quad, a DC Universe world accustomed to constant conflict, the crime syndicate, including Ultraman and Power Ring, unleashed devastating power. They relished their conquest, unaware the same terrifying force approached, demanding answers to the secrets of universe and annihilating their reality in a similar manner. Meanwhile, Eternity, the embodiment of the Marvel Universe, watched a new story unfolding. The enigmatic being known as Grandmaster observed the creation of a new planet, betting on cosmic games. His contemplation was violently disrupted by the same malevolent presence. Grandmaster attempted to confront the entity, which revealed itself as Krona, an ancient being relentlessly seeking the ultimate truth about his identity and origins. Krona's presence threatened the fabric of the universe, his probing, destructive, and insatiable. A month later, in the DC Universe, Earth Zero, Superman and the Justice League fought a sudden, devastating attack from a towering giant called Terminus, rampaging through Metropolis toward Keystone City. Terminus was from Marvel Universe, designated Earth 616. Despite coordinated attacks, the heroes struggled against Terminus's overwhelming might, powered by a destructive staff. Batman quickly analyzed the threat, instructing Martian Manhunter to telepathically link the team. Aquaman, Flash, Plastic Man, and Wonder Woman followed Batman's strategic orders, attempting to disable Terminus, while Superman endured brutal assaults. Batman recognized the staff as the source of Terminus's strength and sought a plan to separate the giant from its powerful weapon before further destruction ensued. With Plastic Man and Wonder Woman restraining Terminus, Manhunter unleashed a telepathic blast, and Green Lantern created a construct around the staff. As Terminus fired, the energy blast reversed and hit him, and obliterated his head. As the dust settled, the heroes wondered, where did the giant come from? Suddenly, Hal Jordan, the Spectre, arrived. He warned the heroes that they need not concern themselves with the whereabouts of the being, saying that he teleported away with Terminus. The heroes got back to rescuing the bystanders. Meanwhile, on Earth 616, in New York City, the Avengers battled an invasion of alien parasites spawned by Starro the Conqueror, originating from the DC Universe. The parasitic control stars quickly overwhelmed civilians and heroes alike, controlling their minds. Thor commanded Iron Man and Jack of Hearts to attack Starro directly, but their efforts barely affected it. The fight worsened when Thor himself became possessed. Quicksilver briefly fell under Starro's control, but Scarlet Witch and Captain America freed him. Pietro revealed Starro sought total order and domination, and peace. Vision proposed a risky strategy, urging Scarlet Witch to tap into her chaos magic to counteract Starro's orderly consciousness. Despite Quicksilver's objections, Wanda allowed a parasite to infect her, connecting directly to Starro's mind. She unleashed powerful chaos energy, overwhelming Starro and driving it into agonized retreat. Starro, screaming from the chaos, detached from Earth and fled into space, freeing everyone from its control. As the heroes recovered, Scarlet Witch explained, Starro was confused, sensing it didn't belong in their universe. Vision received a transmission from Quasar, hinting at a broader crisis elsewhere, leaving the Avengers concerned about Starro's mysterious arrival and the implications of universes intersecting. At Avengers Mansion, Quasar reported troubling data to Captain America and Thor, detailing sudden invasions throughout known space, such as Lobo's abrupt appearance in the Sheer Empire, causing significant chaos. Quasar confirmed these intruders originated from another universe, the same responsible for earlier disturbances on Earth. Responding to this, Iron Man started constructing a sophisticated warning system designed to detect future dimensional breaches, with Hawkeye arriving shortly afterward to support the team. Meanwhile, the Flash, guided telepathically by Martian Manhunter, used debris from Terminus's armor to vibrate himself into Terminus's home reality. With considerable strain, he arrived in what appeared to be a peaceful version of Keystone City. Quickly confronted by an angry mob chasing Pete Geringer, a frightened mutant teen, Flash intervened to help. However, he soon discovered a critical issue. The Speed Force didn't exist in this universe, leaving him powerless. Narrowly escaping the dangerous crowd, Flash returned urgently to the Justice League Watchtower to warn his teammates. The League had already confirmed multiple invasions within their universe and suspected deliberate manipulation. Suddenly, two enigmatic visitors appeared at the Watchtower. Uatu, the Watcher, who observed silently, and the Grandmaster, who identified himself as originating from the Avengers universe. Grandmaster urgently warned the Justice League about the looming universal collapse. To prevent this disaster, he explained, they needed to gather 12 potent artifacts, 6 from each universe. From the DC universe, the artifacts required were the Spear of Destiny, the Book of Eternity, the Orb of Ra, the Medusa Mask, the Bell, Jar and Wheel of the Demons 3, and Kyle Rayner's Green Lantern Power Battery. From the Marvel Universe, the necessary items included the Ultimate Nullifier, the Evil Eye of Avalon, the Wand of Watum, the Casket of Ancient Winters, the Cosmic Cube, and the Infinity Gauntlet. Though Grandmaster remained vague beyond this revelation, the Justice League resolved to investigate immediately. Utilizing the Flash's knowledge of vibrational frequencies, the Justice League successfully teleported into the Marvel Universe, though Flash remained behind due to his power loss. Concurrently, Iron Man and his teammates at Avengers Mansion detected the Justice League's arrival through the dimensional warning system, signaling an unprecedented convergence of two superhero teams. The Justice League entered the Marvel Universe and split up to quietly observe, but were shocked by the grim situations they encountered. Aquaman and Martian Manhunter saw Dr. Doom ruling Latveria brutally. Wonder Woman witnessed genocide on Genosha. Superman was appalled by rampant violence in Michigan, and Batman intervened in New York to save drug dealers from the Punisher, causing Plastic Man to chastise him for breaking their non-interference rule. Superman was visibly disturbed by the state of this universe, frustrated at its heroes' apparent negligence. The team regrouped at an island in the Sea of Okhotsk to find their first artifact. Upon arrival, massive monsters emerged, forcing the League into combat. Batman stealthily retrieved the artifact, the Ultimate Nullifier. But when Martian Manhunter mentally probed it, the object's immense power overwhelmed him, broadcasting his distress telepathically to everyone nearby. Suddenly, the Avengers appeared, attacking the League. Hawkeye skillfully shot an arrow, knocking the nullifier away, but Wonder Woman caught it mid-air. Iron Man used his dimensional modulator to expel the Justice League from their universe back to the DC Earth, but the nullifier went with them. Back on their Earth, Superman declared his disappointment with the Marvel Universe, suggesting greater caution moving forward. The score was DC 1, Marvel 0. Meanwhile, back in the Marvel Universe, the Avengers debated the threat posed by the Justice League. Vision detected another observer, Metron, who trapped the Avengers briefly to communicate peacefully. Metron explained about the artifact's importance, warning the Avengers that if the Justice League succeeded, the Marvel Universe would be doomed. He introduced them to the Mother Box, an intelligent device now interacting directly with Iron Man, urging the Avengers to oppose the League to save their reality. But the Atom had stayed back, and he hopped onto Metron's chair to uncover the greater secret. Thor reacted. He was angry, ready to fight the Justice League, urged by the warnings of Metron. Iron Man identified the mysterious device as a sentient Mother Box, allowing the Avengers to teleport into the Justice League's universe. Arriving in Metropolis, they swiftly halted a bank robbery, astonishing civilians. Captain America was wary of their new surroundings, noticing the adoration citizens showed to superheroes. Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver observed the excessive idolization of heroes in this world, unsettling Captain America. The Justice League confronted the Avengers, accusing them of invading their universe and threatening its stability. Superman tried to reason with Captain America, demanding the Avengers surrender immediately. The Avengers refused, deeming Superman and his allies oppressive. Thor, angered, declared they had endured enough. He called down a mighty storm and struck Superman with a powerful blow from Mjolnir, igniting the conflict. Elsewhere, the Grand Master and Metron secretly observed these events, discussing how both universes were pawns in a greater game orchestrated by Krona, a villain intent on altering reality. They noted that neither universe might survive, but delaying Krona was essential. Unbeknownst to them, Atom listened covertly. The conflict had officially begun, and both sides were caught in an intense battle, manipulated by hidden cosmic forces.
Act 2. A Contest of Champions.
Remember the time from when the Grand Master heard the wrathful probe of Krona? Krona, a rogue ON scientist obsessed with discovering the origin of the universe, revealed to Grandmaster his desperate search for knowledge, which had previously led to destructive consequences in his home universe. Cast out by his peers, Krona's experiments had destroyed numerous universes. Unapologetic, Krona told Grandmaster he intended to continue at any cost, even if it meant annihilating another universe. To prevent this, Grandmaster challenged Krona to a cosmic game, with stakes determining the universe's survival. If Krona won, Grandmaster would tell him where to find Galactus, the being who had lived before the Big Bang. Galactus would be able to reveal the secrets of the universe to Krona. As they closed the deal to the contest, Kismet, the embodiment of DC Universe, stayed witness. At present, the Justice League and Avengers continued their fierce battle across Metropolis. Superman had demanded the Avengers surrender, leading to a brutal clash. Thor fought valiantly against Superman, using his hammer's immense power. Hawkeye and Flash humorously sparred verbally while fighting. Captain America faced Batman in an evenly matched duel. Their fight was tactical, restrained, and ended with mutual respect, realizing both teams were pawns manipulated by greater forces. Batman proposed they secretly work together to uncover the truth behind the conflict. Nearby, Scarlet Witch struggled to use her chaos magic in the DC universe. Suddenly, immense power surged through her, overwhelming her senses, yet granting her awareness of all the powerful artifacts they sought. Wanda, empowered, swiftly transported the Avengers away. The Justice League regrouped, noting the Avengers had disappeared. Martian Manhunter telepathically contacted Justice League reservists and past members to protect their universe's artifacts. Flash helped the League to tap into the vibrations of the Avengers' Earth. He ran to Kyle's apartment to protect the Green Lantern power battery. At Avengers Mansion, alarms signaled that the Justice League had returned to their Earth, eluding Wasp and other Avengers present. The Justice League arrived on the Avengers' Earth near a rural I-95, surprised to find open fields where they expected a city. Superman scanned the planet and noted it was smaller and less developed than theirs. Wonder Woman criticized his attitude, and Martian Manhunter reminded them their priority was locating the remaining 5 items of power. He split them into 3 teams: Superman and Kyle, Arthur and Wonder Woman, Martian Manhunter, and Plastic Man. The Avengers, on the other hand, also dispatched based on coordinates given by Wasp and Yellowjacket to global strike points. Triathlon offered to stay behind and monitor the situation from Avengers HQ while the others deployed. In DCU Manhattan, Wally West, left behind to guard Kyle's apartment, grumbled about missing the action. Suddenly, he was struck by Iron Man's energy beam just as Iron Man and Hawkeye arrived using Wanda's magic. Flash recovered from the shock, furious and ready to fight, but Iron Man and Hawkeye teleported away with Kyle's power battery. The power battery was retrieved by the Grandmaster. He marked the score 1-1. Superman and Kyle reached Santo Rico and noted cultural differences. Suddenly, Warbird and Wonder Man attacked. Meanwhile, Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch investigated Central City's Flash Museum, admiring how respected heroes were in this world. Suddenly, they were ambushed by Hawkman, Blue Beetle, and Black Canary. Aquaman tackled She-Hulk. Wonder Woman fought Hercules. Superman and Kyle fought Warbird and Wonder Man. Superman formed a vortex around Warbird and drew out all air, incapacitating her, while Kyle blasted Wonder Man. Hawkman bound Scarlet Witch, while Quicksilver hit Blue Beetle. Black Canary hit Quicksilver with her sonic blast. Wonder Man overpowered Kyle, but Superman downed him with a swift punch. They discovered the Orb of Ra and coveted it. Aquaman dove into the caverns of Asgard and retrieved the Book of Eternity. Meanwhile, Scarlet Witch incapacitated the other Leaguers with a Chaos Blast, and Quicksilver retrieved the Wand of Watum. Elsewhere, Krona and Grandmaster kept the score. DC 3, Marvel 2. Batman and Captain America explored the Batcave, where Cap stood before the memorial of a fallen Robin. Batman admitted he lost a partner and urged Cap to focus. Zatanna updated them from the Watchtower. She was tracing Scarlet Witch's chaos magic, though the opposing team had already collected multiple artifacts. Batman noted that Metron's involvement seemed odd, as he was a seeker, not a gamesman like Grandmaster. They concluded someone else must be aiding Grandmaster. Meanwhile, Metron's logs reviewed Galactus, the cosmic devourer, destroying worlds. Krona sought Galactus's secrets and would stop at nothing. Metron questioned himself whether the cosmic game would restrain him at all. Back in the Batcave, Batman and Cap discussed how quitting the game carried heavy penalties. To buy time for their investigation, Cap activated a homing beacon. The beacon summoned the Thing, who arrived in the Batcave on a time bike provided by Reed Richards. Reed had analyzed residue left by Metron and programmed the bike with traceable wavelengths. The Thing delivered the bike and returned, telling Cap to call if he ever needed help clobbering. Batman acknowledged Ben's rough edges, but admitted he got the job done. In the Himalayas, Wanda told her team she was under strain but could endure. Wonder Woman and Kyle sensed the items they were hunting were more than simple relics. Something larger was at play. Zatanna, at the Watchtower, reported disturbances in the Chaos Field and began triangulating Metron's location. Steel fitted the Flash with a battery that would collect the Speed Force and help him tap into it. The Chaos magic surged through Scarlet Witch and Zatanna, giving them the locations for the rest of the artifacts. At Happy Harbor, Thor and Vision were staved off by Red Tornado. Both of them struggled to bring Tornado down. Thor worked up a thunder with Mjolnir, but just as he was about to strike, he got encased in Firestorm's energy bubble. Firestorm and Tornado soon escaped with the Bell, Jar, and Wheel of the Demons 3. The score was DC 4, Marvel 2. Meanwhile at Wakanda, as Plastic Man battled Wasp and Yellowjacket battled Martian Manhunter, Black Panther retrieved the Medusa mask. DC 4, Marvel 3. Batman and Captain America traveled through the remnants of a destroyed universe on the Time Bike. The sight was devastating for both of them. In Kansas, Iron Man and Hawkeye incapacitated Captain Atom and Green Arrow and retrieved the casket of Ancient Winters. DC 4, Marvel 4. At Paradise Island, Steel struggled to hold it against Vision's might. Quicksilver coveted the evil eye of Avalon and ran, but it didn't vanish. Flash ran faster than Quicksilver and took the artifact. DC 5, Marvel 4. In the blue area of the moon, Kyle fought Captain Marvel and Wonder Woman fought Kassar. They almost overpowered them, but Iron Man struck from behind with a laser blast, incapacitating Wonder Woman and Kyle. Then the Marvel heroes retrieve the Spear of Destiny. DC 5, Marvel 5. Meanwhile, Batman and Cap teleported to Grandmaster's lair, discovering a cosmic game board filled with pawns, cards, and planets. Batman realized he'd seen Obsession before, but never on this scale. They were greeted by Atom there. Atom switched on the consoles that showed the events from all the universes. There, they watched the conversation between the Grandmaster and Krona. It was revealed that the DC universe was actually fighting for Grandmaster, and the Marvel universe for Krona. If the Marvel universe won, Krona would destroy it and move on with his quest. If DC won, Grandmaster will let Krona have the secrets of Galactus. Meanwhile, all the heroes arrived at Apocalypse for the Infinity Gauntlet. Darkseid did not want a war, so he gave it away. Quicksilver tried to reach for it, but Flash beat him to it. As the score counted DC 6, Marvel 5, all the heroes were teleported to the Savage Island where lay the final artifact, the Cosmic Cube. With Wanda's war cry, all the heroes jumped into the fray to retrieve the artifact. Hawkeye shot his arrow, but it got destroyed by Green Arrow's midair, and an epic battle ensued. Zatanna and Captain Atom battled Wasp and Yellowjacket. Superman and Thor kept hitting each other with echoing punches. Vision fought Martian. Kyle fought Captain Marvel. Wonder Woman fought Wonder Man. Blue Beetle fought Black Panther. Superman hit Thor with his heat vision. Thor, though hurt, raged on. He brought down the Mjolnir, but Superman stopped it. Thor was bewildered. Nobody could stop the Mjolnir, but yet Superman did. Then, Superman punched Thor so hard that he knocked him out. The fight paused briefly as the Marvel heroes could not believe Thor could be defeated. Enraged, all the Marvel heroes gathered in on Superman, pummeling him into the ground. Aquaman arrived on a sea monster, scattering all of them, demanding they let Superman go. Carl tried retrieving the cube, but instead his ring got charged by it, filling him with cosmic power. Warbird took the cube, but Flash snatched it from her. Quicksilver snatched it from Flash again. Right then, Grandmaster and Krona arrived. As Quicksilver held the final artifact up, Captain America hit it with his shield. Batman caught the cube. Hawkeye prepared to fire at Batman, but Captain America ordered him to stand down. Batman, holding the assembled artifact cube, considered using its power, but Grandmaster stopped him. These items weren't meant to be used, only gathered. He declared the game over with a score of 7-5 in favor of the Justice League. As the losing party, Krona was commanded to leave and never threaten the Continuum again. Krona, enraged and refusing to accept defeat, lashed out, declaring he would still find the truth. Krona then attacked Grandmaster, demanding answers. As he tore Grandmaster apart, the League and Avengers intervened. Superman helped Thor, who was injured. The heroes united to stop Krona as he raved about Galactus. Krona manifested the image of Galactus from Grandmaster's mind and pulled him amidst the fight. Galactus appeared, insulted by Krona's madness, and resisted his interrogations. Krona tried tearing the truth from him, but Galactus fought back. All the heroes attacked Krona. Vision's intangible form failed against Krona's energy, but together they pushed. Galactus denied Krona's demands. As Krona screamed, Grandmaster revealed that the entire contest was a ruse to distract Krona while they assembled the true weapon. He activated the artifact ring. Krona realized too late the game had been a feint. The items were not meant for the players, but for the final move, against him. The weapon surged, dragging Krona and all reality into a black vortex of nothingness. Act 3. Strange Adventures. Beyond time and space, the Source Wall stood guarded by the remains of those who had tried and failed to reach its power. Among them now rested another, Dr. Doom, frozen in defeat. The heroes traveled back to Earth and Green Lantern's energy bubble. Batman declared the Source's secrets safe, and Hal Jordan teased Hawkeye about his last-second shot that saved the day. Black Canary kissed Hawkeye, praising his skill, and she was glad that he had joined the JLA. Green Arrow jealously ranted to Elongated Man about everyone fawning over Hawkeye, but suddenly, he remembered Hawkman, and reality rippled around him. Hal reminded him that Hawkman wasn't even there. The Leaguers decided to return to the satellite and give the news to the others, as Doom was not from their universe. As they left, Eternity, the Marvel Universe, and Kismet, the DC Universe, passionately embraced and kissed. At Hydro Base, the Avengers felt uneasy despite their victory. Cap sensed something wrong in the reality. Wasp said she'd already contacted the Justice League. Soon, the League arrived via Green Lantern constructs, and both teams greeted each other warmly. Plans were made to collaborate again. This was a new reality, where Marvel was Earth 1 and DC was Earth 2. The heroes met in a joint facility, exchanging greetings and stories. Jarvis prepared refreshments. Green Arrow bickered with Hawkeye again, arguing over archery skills. Wonder Woman noticed Cap seemed distant. He confessed something felt wrong. Diana pointed out his long history with crossovers, but he denied remembering. As he tried to piece it together, reality began to fade. Suddenly, Cap was at a luau party on the JLA satellite, confused. Jan reminded him it was their annual get-together. Everyone mingled happily, but Captain America and Superman both sensed something off. Reality kept changing. Superman shouted it was all wrong. Cap lashed out, demanding answers. He didn't recognize anyone anymore, but deep down, he knew something had changed. He saw the glimpses of Kyle and Wally in place of Barry and Hal, but then reality restored itself. The League insisted they were longtime friends. Captain America struggled with the fragmented reality as Wonder Woman urged him to calm down and recall their shared past. The Leaguers reminded him of old alliances and battles, such as fighting Amazon Robot and Ultron 5, and being trapped in their respective headquarters. They recalled swapping worlds to stop the villains. More memories surfaced. Battles against the Grim Reaper, the Key, the kidnapping of Mantis and Zatanna, and the chase for celestial power. They remembered Kang and the Lord of Time, the Chronal Egg, and the many cross-dimensional conflicts. In the Avengers comm room, Batman and Iron Man confirmed that their major enemies were accounted for, and the Masters of Evil were still imprisoned. They heard an alarm and headed to the common meeting room. Cap had stormed in, accusing Superman of being the source of reality distortion. He pointed at him, claiming he was bending reality, demanding the truth. Superman, equally agitated, snapped back, and the two charged at each other. With a single, silent impact, everything shattered. Reality dissolved. The world changed. A snow and ash-covered wasteland replaced it. Heroes awoke scattered and confused. Aquaman attacked Vision, demanding answers, but both realized their memories were hazy. Aquaman had his hand back, which he had lost. They agreed to hold off conflict and investigate. Suddenly, a group of villains unleashed gunfire on them. Vision jumped in and shielded them. The heroes realized that the villains had a master. Right then, the other Avengers and Leaguers joined the fray and defeated the supervillains swiftly. The heroes regrouped. Cap and Hal Jordan rallied the others. Wonder Woman used her lasso on Sonar, compelling him to reveal that their master had them under control, and though trapped now, he would escape. Thor said he could sense the master's power, and they decided to follow it. On the Avengers Earth, natural disasters erupted. Superman and Martian Manhunter coordinated rescue efforts, with help from Batman, Flash, Scarlet Witch, and others, evacuating civilians and combating fires. Martian Manhunter apologized for his reaction to fire, and Scarlet Witch reassured him he did fine. Superman and Wasp discussed the instability in their memories, and he noted that though Barry was the Flash, something felt off. Citizens begged the heroes for help, complaining of days of devastation and missing cities. One man claimed to be from Korak, a place that apparently didn't exist here. Batman suggested that people were crossing between worlds. Flash planned to do a speed sweep but needed a moment to recharge. Suddenly, the crowd panicked at the snowfall. Batman and Scarlet Witch saw the sky change and warned of ghosts returning. The temperature dropped, and people screamed as spectral forms appeared. Superman and Flash tried to calm them, but chaos spread. Superman urged Martian Manhunter to read the minds of the ghosts. Martian Manhunter tried, but found their minds faint, as if distant. Martian Manhunter gasped, realizing something. Before he could explain, a man emerged from the storm claiming to be a Metropolis local. Flash was confused. This wasn't Metropolis. As the wind calmed and people reappeared, Batman noticed Martian Manhunter had vanished. A new storm began. Elsewhere, the Avengers, including Iron Man and Thor, noticed the same strange sky and storm. Vision sensed people disappearing. As the city warmed and sounds intensified, people reappeared, along with Martian Manhunter. He said he had some understanding now. Martian Manhunter communicated telepathically to Superman, Flash, and Scarlet Witch, saying the storms were causing people to switch universes randomly. The team agreed to follow him. As they moved forward, Superman noted the landscape had changed. New York had the Daily Planet building, which made no sense. He found a newspaper by Clark Kent interviewing Spider-Man. They realized the world was merging. They finally reached the merging point. They stood on the two sides of the rift. Superman and Cap started blaming each other, but Wonder Woman stopped them. They still had to figure out what was happening. Suddenly, the ground shook and broke apart. The essence of Krona shot out of the rift and into the sky, and the Chrono Storm started again. Superman and Iron Man flew into the sky after Krona. Superman used his telescopic vision and saw that not only people, but places were also merging. Existence and time had gone all awry. But then, from above, they saw the unbelievable. Krona's hands were trying to merge the DC and Marvel Earth together, pushing them towards destruction. From below, the other heroes could see Krona's laughing face. Scarlet Witch hurled a blast of chaos energy at Krona, and he writhed in pain. Batman asked her if she could do more. Hal Jordan decided to help. He and Scarlet Witch poured chaos and emerald energy into the face of Krona. Martian helped the others to telepathically connect to both of them and provide them strength. The heroes poured everything they had, and there was a big blast. Avengers Mansion still stood tall at the end of the immediate chaos. Inside, a weary and injured Jarvis sat among the ruins, uncertain if he was hearing voices. When Cap, Wasp, and Scarlet Witch arrived with the rest of the team, he was relieved. Despite his injuries, he reported only minor looting and structural damage from the quakes. He had used their food stores to help local soup kitchens and kept power running with Stark's backup generators. Cap asked if the basement lab still had power, and after hearing they did, asked Jarvis to prepare coffee, saying they were expecting guests. Moments later, the Justice League appeared via the teleporter. Iron Man explained the rift's disruption sent everyone back to their original universe. Though Krona had been delayed, they doubted it was a true defeat. While survivors were helped and casualties counted, heroes like Hawkgirl and Firestorm were noted to be from different time periods. Iron Man noted that Wonder Woman's appearance also suddenly changed. Flash discovered space itself was warping, new stars forming, and gravitational distortions growing stronger. Batman insisted they find the Grandmaster for answers. The group prepared to track energy signatures in the Savage Land, but Phantom Stranger suddenly arrived, offering to guide them. Aquaman bristled at the intrusion, but Superman vouched for the stranger's past help, and the group followed him through a surreal portal. They emerged in a bizarre, cosmic realm where laws of reality twisted. At its center lay the Grandmaster, wounded and dying. He confessed to a grave error. He had used the artifacts to bind Krona at the nexus point between worlds, hoping Krona wouldn't destroy the universes if his life was tied to them. But the universes were too incompatible, and Krona's presence was driving them to collapse. Grandmaster revealed Krona was accelerating the merger to trigger a new Big Bang. The heroes asked him what proper order he wanted restored. Grandmaster offered to show them the truth, so they could decide for themselves. With his last sliver of power, he showed them the years and events to come. They saw the JLA satellite being destroyed as well as the X-Men Island. Thor saw his own rebirth, while Batman saw the initiation of a new Justice League. Captain America saw his own failure, while Wonder Woman saw her own downfall due to her fury. Martian Manhunter saw himself fighting the White Martians, while Cap saw Jan and Hank breaking up. Scarlet Witch saw herself losing her kids, while Barry saw himself running to death in the crisis. Batman watched Jason die and the events of Nightfall, while Wonder Woman saw the death of her mother. Superman saw his own death, and Hal Jordan saw himself becoming mad as Parallax. And with that, the visions of future ended, and Grandmaster closed his eyes in peace. The heroes stood startled by the glimpses of their legacy. but they still decided that the existence of their universes were worth fighting for. Captain America and Superman looked at each other and agreed to go to war together. They shook hands. All the heroes stood together and let out a war cry, letting Krona know that they were coming, while Metron watched with intrigue. Act 4. The Brave and the Bold. Previously, Krona pulled Galactus into reality from the Grandmaster's mind. He brutally pummeled Galactus and uncovered his origin by tapping into his mind, learning that he belonged to the universe of Ta. The universe of Ta was collapsing. The people of Ta, in one final effort to fight, manned a ship to the terminal point where matter was collapsing. Everyone perished, except for one man. He drove his ship into the terminal point, where the sentience of the universe invited him to merge with him. That man was transformed into Galactus. Krona learned that in Marvel Universe, it was a voice, but in DC, it was a hand. And he would not stop till he uncovered the truth about the power that gave birth to the universes. Metron advised him against it, but Krona was adamant. He wouldn't stop until the reality was ashes. As the DC and Marvel Earths continued merging, Spider-Man rescued a child from a burning building as disasters continued worldwide. Superheroes like Nova, Speedball, and Daredevil fought to contain the chaos, while media reported on collapsing landmarks from Jerusalem to Salisbury Plain. Reporters speculated about the Avengers' efforts to manage the growing crisis. In the alternate Earth's New York, heroes like Cyborg, Starfire, and other Titans coordinated evacuation and rescue missions. Lois Lane reported on the mysterious mists that had engulfed Gotham and Metropolis, now shifting unpredictably. Titans investigated the anomalies as time distortions and even dinosaurs began appearing, escalating panic amongst the outsiders. Inside their joint HQ, the Avengers and Justice League argued about what to do. Vision lashed out, distraught by the idea of rewriting history and losing his children. Scarlet Witch calmed him, explaining that the chaos magic here was warping reality. Things were unstable, and time was fluctuating. She convinced Vision that restoring the timeline was necessary, even if it meant sacrificing their current memories. Later, the united team debated their plan to stop Krona. Batman cautioned that Krona had enslaved others before and could have powerful defenses. Hal Jordan warned that each artifact Krona held was a major threat, so they had to be very careful. Superman nominated Captain America as the team's commander, a decision everyone accepted. Captain America asked John if everyone would follow his order. John scanned everyone's mind and said that they would follow Cap without a sliver of doubt. So they started to devise a way in. Aquaman arranged for an Imperial Atlantean warcraft. Hal Jordan devised it to run on the Green Lantern power battery. Vision plugged into the neural network of the ship to operate all data in the speed of thought. Iron Man supplied the cannon power for thrust and maneuverability. Batman helped. Atom and Wasp did the wiring. As the multiversal harmonics neared alignment, Vision reflected on how hard the upcoming transfer would be. Wanda assured him she understood. Nearby, Hank Pym apologized to Jan for the actions of his alternate self in the correct timeline. Jan told him it didn't matter in the face of two worlds' fates. Meanwhile, Barry and Hal shared coffee and memories. Hal recited the Green Lantern Oath and prepared. Barry admitted they were sacrificing happiness, but at least someone would still fight for their ideals. Hal and Barry took a walk, reminiscing about past times with friends. They joked about their first impressions of each other and how much things had changed. Barry left to try to contact Iris. Elsewhere, Thor and Superman shared a moment of camaraderie, each acknowledging the other's strength. Superman expressed his fear that even the combined might of the Avengers might not be enough against Kroner. Captain America asked Superman to carry his shield in the final battle, which Superman accepted with honor. When the moment arrived, the Atlantean ship, enhanced by tech from both universes, launched with Wanda's magic and Barry's cosmic treadmill, tearing through space-time toward Kroner's stronghold. It arrived in a twisted battlefield, built from Galactus's remains. Krona had been expecting them and deployed his thralls, triggering a massive firefight. The ship was hit. It crash-landed, scattering Krona's minions, the Cobra cult. But the heroes had already off-boarded. Everyone launched an assault, while Superman screamed a war cry, "Avengers assemble." John linked everyone with his telepathic controls, as Captain America gave the orders from the ship. He told Giant Man to take away the enemy's firepower. He told Wanda to counter the power fluxes. Iron Man and Aquaman took the telepathic orders and incapacitated Krona's army. Lantern, Diana, John encountered the humanoids, as Superman and Thor lay waste to another humanoid army. Flash and Wasp followed orders to find an entry point inside the ship, while Batman went inside the control station to shut it down. But suddenly, there was a chronal storm. Heroes were expunged from reality, and other heroes took their place. Even their uniforms started changing. Quicksilver helped Superman to disperse the enemies, while Green Arrow and Hawkeye stood back to back going into a target contest, hitting Krona's henchmen. But they were dispersed by the Royal Flush Gang appearing out of nowhere. Krona, seated in his lair, revealed he had captured the universal avatars, the living consciousnesses of both universes. He warned that the energies he was drawing would soon destabilize the realms. He demanded Metron's help to force the avatars into giving answers before they were annihilated. But Metron refused, questioning whether Krona truly sought truth or conquest. Metron vanished, leaving Krona frustrated. Outside, the battle raged on. Heroes from both teams fought side by side against monstrous defenders. Batman contacted Captain America, confirming the field generators were down and that explosives had cleared a path. As he scouted ahead, he was ambushed by Batroc, who eagerly challenged him to a skillful duel. Nearby, Plastic Man was overwhelmed by confusion about his own existence amid the chaos. Black Canary knocked out Screaming Meanie, who had attacked Hercules, whose appearance had changed. Faust and other sorcerers jumped in attacking Hercules and Canary. Red Tornado formed a massive wind barrier to protect the team's advance and destroy Felix Faust's energy wall. Mr. Terrific led the charge through the opening, coordinating their movements across multiple defensive rings. Cap ordered to form a beachhead and create rings of defenses. Thor offered aid to Superman mid-battle, but Superman, though bloodied, assured him he could hold on. His concern lay with Red Tornado's safety. Thor flew in and struck a thunder to free Red Tornado from getting overwhelmed by Felix's evil energy. Hawkeye tackled Absorbing Man, but the ground under him caved in. He was saved by Flash as he carried him away swiftly. But suddenly, a surge of fire from Jack-o'-lantern obliterated both Flash and Hawkeye. Hal screamed in rage, witnessing his friend's death, and he attacked with his full might. Within the chronal storm, Hal slowly changed into Kyle, powered by the rays of the cosmic cube. He fired cosmic bullets, obliterating Jack-o'-lantern. Thor screamed at the heroes to not let the sacrifice go in vain. He destroyed the enemy ranks with a thunder strike. She-Hulk downed them with a mighty punch. Ant-Man caught Atom from falling. Green Arrow picked up Hawkeye's quiver and promised that he would not let even one arrow go in vain. Captain America screamed at the heroes to not let go, and they didn't. They pushed forward. Despite the odds, despite the chronal anomalies, they fought on. Dr. Light helped the Captain Marvels of both the worlds. Firestorm attacked after Cersei blew away Krona's army. But the chronal storm started again. Hulk appeared, and John changed into Bloodwind. This disrupted the telepathic link amongst the heroes. Right then, Prometheus attacked Cap, claiming that he had downloaded Batman's fighting skills into his mind. And on the other hand, another group of villains challenged Batman. Black Panther, Huntress, and Black Widow jumped in to help Batman. All the heroes said, "Bring it on." Kurna finally realized that he wasn't merely a truth seeker. He was a ruler who believed in conquest, and he wanted to make both the universes pay. The citadel of Krona started to disintegrate. The heroes fought on despite the chronal storm. Cap defeated Prometheus. Batman and others defeated the villains. The war arena got marked with blood and sweat. Suddenly, Wanda materialized again, and she witnessed Eternity and Kismet, the Marvel and DC universe, kissing in unison. Krona kept attacking. Iron Man channeled his laser blast through Kyle's emerald constructs and blew out one part of the citadel. The villains and heroes kept appearing and vanishing, but none of them stopped fighting. The appearance of the heroes and villains kept changing without pause. Suddenly, giant cavemen appeared with stone clubs. Wonder Woman brought down one of the Citadel pillars on them using her lasso, then joined forces with She-Hulk. Radioactive Man and Sola attacked Superman, one mimicking kryptonite and the other mimicking red sun radiation. One red tornado, witnessing it, poured all his solar radiation into Superman, empowering him, and then succumbed. Superman punched the villains away. Superman tried punching open the wall of the Citadel, but failed as the energy was too strong. Thor saw it and hurled the Mjolnir at him, saying, "Do thou well with it." Superman caught Mjolnir mid-air. He could not fathom the power that the hammer carried. He gained momentum, struck the energy wall with the hammer, and the wall was obliterated into pieces. He stood with the Mjolnir and Cap's shield, victorious. Suddenly, Superman and all other heroes was thrown away with an energy blast. Krona stood tall, armored, ready to destroy both the universes. No one could oppose his will, or the imminent end. He looked at the merged eternity and Kismet, and boasted that they would soon meet their end. But his attention was interrupted by Flash, running around his footing. He screamed at him, saying that he watched him die. But Flash was just a distraction. Hawkeye was alive too. He shot an arrow to the merging Earths and Artifacts ring, and broke it. The arrow was a TNT arrow. And then, there was a catastrophic and disastrous blast, and the whole artifact ring was destroyed. A bright light started sucking everything in. Krona screamed in fear, and he and the artifacts were all pulled into nothingness. The chronal chaos faded as all of existence came back to normal. Wally appeared in Barry's place. Aquaman's hand was gone. The heroes' appearances were rectified to present. All the heroes gathered together, when Batman suddenly pointed at something in the sky. It was an unfathomable sight of two hands trying to separate the DC and Marvel Earths. As the worlds parted, in between them stood Hal Jordan, reverted back to the Spectre. He separated the worlds and vanished into thin air. As the dust settled from the battle, Superman examined Red Tornado and confirmed that there were no signs of internal activity. No power, no movement. He had given everything without hesitation, and would have given more if he could. Thor acknowledged Red Tornado's sacrifice, and reassured the team that their scientists would do all they could to revive him. Miss Marvel interrupted, alerting everyone to an overwhelming energy surge. Iron Man warned that reality itself was rebuilding. The ground quaked, prompting everyone to evacuate, as Galactus began to reform from the rubble. Superman tried to lift Mjolnir to hand it back to Thor, but couldn't. Thor explained the enchantment placed by Odin, only allowing a few to wield it in desperate hours. Still, he admitted that Superman had held it briefly, proving that the hammer was in good hands. As Eternity and Kismet separated from their embrace, the heroes rushed to escape the collapsing stronghold. Flash and Green Lantern joked about the chaos, while the others prepared to return to their realities. Superman spoke to Captain America, reflecting on the uncertainties they all carried, doing too much or too little, but emphasized that they never stopped trying. Captain saluted the League and the Avengers, saying he was glad to have met them all. Though they'd come together, overcome differences, and fought as one, the time had come to return to their incompatible worlds. They accepted it with quiet resolve. Elsewhere, the Grandmaster and Metron observed Krona's essence sealed within a cosmic egg, floating in the void. The Grandmaster reflected that the heroes had restored everything, or almost everything, and that the experience, while intense, was worth it. Krona had lost, but gained answers. The cosmic egg would birth a new universe one day, and Metron will be there to document it. And perhaps, they mused, they might do it all again. That wraps up the grand epic of greatest team-up of the millennium. Smash that subscribe button for more stories like this. Leave your thoughts in the comments box. Meanwhile, spread the word. ComixFM is your one-stop for kick-ass comic stories. And keep supporting the comic book industry.